Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the In the Psychic Flow Show with Carolan Carey.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to In the Psychic Flow. Let me adjust this a little bit. We're delighted to have you with us tonight. I apologize for the hair. I didn't get a haircut yet. It's been, 3 months? But I'm working on it. I just wanted to say thank you all for joining us on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. Thank you all. You know to put your comments in the live section there. We'll be glad to do some mini readings. We had a substitute tonight, which is phenomenal. She's a phenomenal guest anyway in her own right. So she's really not a substitute, but she's an alternate guest. We were going to have Mr. Mark Anthony on tonight, the psychic lawyer, but he had a schedule conflict. So we're going to reschedule him. So thank you for joining us. Anyway, I had inquiries about the show tonight. People are delighted to meet the fabulous psychic Joanne Leo, and I'm going to introduce her in a second. We're going to bring her on. Joanne, are you there? People are lining up. Oh, I think we got it. There she is. Hi, gorgeous.
Hello.
Oh, we almost didn't get you, but we got you now, and that's the important thing.
I was in a different room or something.
That's okay. We have two links. One's a private link for our me and our guests, and the other link is for all our viewers. And I was mentioning YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. So they're going to all be joining us tonight, and I'm going to be getting some people on here, hopping on here. I want to introduce the fabulous psychic Joanne Leo, the soul reader. If you don't know who Joanne is, let me just give you a little synopsis. I'm sorry, I never know which way to face the camera here. Here we go. I'm still new at this, in case you haven't guessed. Joanne was a six-figure corporate exec. Now, she got a calling here, and in a series of events brought her to her true purpose, apologize for the glare, which is the soul reader. Now, unexpected, unsought, unplanned for, totally, Spirit grabs her and says, this is your work. Joanne, the brave, wonderful person that she is, rambunctious, stepped up to the plate, and the world has not been the same since. I mean, life coaching, psychic numerology, tarot with a twist, readings from the heart. I mean, really, people, this is a gift from God. Now, Joanne, tell us what you need from our viewers to give them the reading of their life. Please.
Well, we're going to give them a little mini because I like to just go right to heaven and get the information just like you do, but I do it a different way. And it's by we're going to do their first name and their birth date, the month and the day. But when I do a full soul chart, it's their name and their birth certificate and their birth date. That's how they're registered in heaven. And it is an actual blueprint. And I can tell you that when I've done soul charts, people will just be mortified. They're just wowed because it has all their strengths. It has areas for them to develop. It's got some past life stuff in there. It's got some things that they could utilize, and also their birthday is a predictor. So that's another reading in itself. So because it moves by the month, by the day, and also every single January 1st you go into a new year. So you go into a new personal month and a new personal year, and I love doing it. And then I, of course, do tarot with the twist. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to do the psychic numerology. And if they have questions or relationship questions, then just give me the partner's name and month and day so I can tune in.
Oh, that's great. We got people queuing up already. So you are willing. Let's see where we are. We can. Hi, Robin. Hi, Jill. Hi, Anita. How are you? I'm so glad to see Anita there. And let me see if I got any birth dates going here. Love both of you, Robin McGuire. Aren't you sweet? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin.
Okay, we have now our first runner-up here. Looks like Jill Sheen. She's right on the money today. She's got her birth date going.
Good.
And here, Jeremy Ridden. I want you to meet him. I'm not going to tell you anything about him. Want you to meet him. He's dying to meet you. So
good.
Our second one, and then we'll go. Okay, so let's start with Jill Sheen. And I don't think that's her birthday. I could be wrong. Anyway, her birth date is 8/22. She did not give me the year. But you don't really.
I absolutely love you, Joe. You're born the day after me.
Oh, there you go.
I want to kind of just tap in, Jill. I don't know if you have a specific question, but I'm sure you'll let Carolan know. But this is, if you really think about what's going on this year, it's like one big, huge scale. It's like you've got to make decisions and weigh things out. And it has to do with people, places, and things. So, I want you to kind of be extra kind to yourself and not be so hard on yourself this year. But you're going to have to pick your battles and your choices wisely.
Mm-hmm.
But you're smart. You're really, really smart girl, and you're strong. So that's good. But you also, the day you were born is a master number, and it's a gift from God. And if you use it right with, strong morals and you do the right thing, it'll shoot you to the moon. Even though that you may be going through some challenges, it gives you the rocket fuel to get through past it and surge it forward. It's the people that lie, cheat, and steal that have this master number. That the worst is they'll be looking out behind bars because it will take you to prison. It's that powerful of a number. But what I love that you've got going on this year is that it's decisions to make. But once we get past June, and we're almost there, it's like things are going to start lining up, and you really need to put the pedal to the metal. Okay, and so it's time for you to take action and really take some of this reflection or this weighing of things out. Don't procrastinate now, because a lot of times when we have decisions to make, we live in our heads too much and we're dwelling on the cons instead of the pros. So I say to you, let's get the sheet of paper out, draw the line down the middle. Let's do pros and cons. And that way you won't, you'll make a better decision and you won't go into procrastination, which is a good thing. And then when you get into July, August, and September, I'm really excited because that's really a powerful segment for you financially, investment-wise, work-wise, whatever you want to do as far as finances or taking some leadership direction is very, very good. But if you have a specific question, I'll be happy to answer for you.
Okay. So let's see. Should I go to my next person while we're waiting? Because I'm not seeing. Oh, Anita's on here. Good. Should I go to the next person? Go back to Jill or?
Yeah, well, I'm fine. We can do that.
So let me just put that. I got her. Okay. The next person up is Jeremy Ridden, 9/21.
9/21?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's really kind of interesting because his achievement number is the same as what I just did for Jill. So it's the same thing too for Jeremy. He's got some decisions to make. I just think procrastination shouldn't be in the mix. I'd say that he's a little picky and he's got a lot of things going. I feel like there's a lot of things going and you can get segued that way. So, I like to do a priority, I have my A list, my B list, and my C list. And I think that's really what Jeremy needs to focus on because I understand he does different things than I do, of course, but he does many things like I do. But the thing is that you have to, hone it in and really kind of put the emphasis there. So it's decisions to make, but I do feel he's got the same cycles that Jill's going to go through. is that we have to get through this end of June here to figure things out of what path we're going to take. And then when we get into July, August, and September, should be some really good opportunities um, uh, for him. And I would say doing his work, and he should really specialize in a particular category than be too many, like a butterfly going to too many different plants. Spirit wants him to really, hone his skills into one particular area. Now, I hope that's the right information that Jeremy was looking for.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Thank you very much. Jeremy Ridden is a astrologer. He is a new radio show host on Goldylocks Productions. I think he had his first show. Let's see. He will be with us on July 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having trouble reading this.
Well, he's definitely got the gift of gab, and
he's great.
And if he's an astrologer, and I've been doing this work 40 years. Even though that I was a corporate exec, I had the most phenomenal mentors, and they were old school. They don't even teach the stuff like the old wisdom of the old school teachers, and they would say focus in, and what do you specialize in? So the thing is I didn't ask for this job, but I got appointed. That we talked about that. But I think what's really kind of cool, and Jeremy may find this too, but astrologers can study like I do, a numerology. You can study your whole life and still not know it all. You're still gravitating and learning. I do teach and I do inspire, but it more goes into the life coaching, because when I see their blueprint, I can really help them with their self-esteem or their goals or the boo-boos of the past, which is important. That's karmic. And so that's what I say, though. But he was a healer in a past life, so he's very sensitive in this life, so he has to be very careful emotionally. He's good at what he does, but emotionally, when it comes to his heart, we have to have a talk, Jeremy and I.
Okay, there we go, Jeremy. Thank you so much for that, Joanne. That was great. Okay. Our next viewer up is Anna, and she is November 8th, 1959. Okay. Oh, her. Well, you don't need her whole name, do you? Just doing a shorty. So
yeah, we'll do a shorty because their blueprint's going to be their full name. That's really going to be the tell-all. So, well, Anna, this is a year that nothing's, you got to be flexible. It's got to be your middle name this year. And I think a lot of us have gone through that, but more so in your chart. But you're very strong. You've got sizzle, you can roll with the flow as long as you don't get stubborn. That's the thing right there. There's definitely something that's gone on with, I want to say, April, May, and June that has to do with either family members, could be your children, or it could be older relatives. There's some responsibility there that you're being pulled on, or your wisdom, or something that has been weighing on your plate. But when we get into let's see, July, August, and September is a real good cycle for you to tune into your own intuition, be true to yourself, start doing some of the things that you've been putting on the back burner. I like to get into Anna's energy here because she is got a strong intuition. Just don't try to keep putting logic to things. That's the whole thing about doing spiritual work. People want the logic. They want to find the logical way, or let me go try to find the fact to back that. That isn't how it works with spirit. No. And that's not how it works when you're dealing with heaven either. And you know that, Carolan. So I'd say tune into your intuition. If it doesn't look right, feel right, something's off or whatever, follow that gut feeling. Stop trying to figure it out. Or go look for a book that explains it. Follow your gut feeling, and I think that that'd be good. Also, too, I feel like when you get to October, November, and December, it's kind of like putting the bow on the bag. It's just kind of like figuring out things that have kind of been dealt your way this year. What you're going into, we're going into July, and this is the time for you to lighten up and have some fun because you're going to be in a 3 month, and that's all about having fun and joy. And August will be good too if you're looking or working on relationships, whether it be family or a love interest or whatever. It's a real good cycle for you. And there you go, Anna.
Okay, thank you for that, Joanne. Very enlightening. I told you Joanne's readings. Now, this is just a little snippet of what you would get, and you can check out Joanne's website at psychicjoanneleo.com. Joanne is 2 N's and Leo like the lion. So please check that out for the packages that she offers. Suit to fit. You can pick what works for you, the time, amount of time. But all of your readings, Joanne, are very detailed and specific because you're using the particular information that goes with that person, that unique signature there, correct? Nobody else has their pattern.
I think what is interesting, because I had a wonderful master. Well, she had her doctorate in numerology, because that's how it was in the old days. You really had to go through the paces. And I earned my master's from her. But what she explained to me, and I had a hard time because I haven't had the easiest rodeo. But then she said the people that don't have the easiest rodeo are the ones that are chosen to do the work. Hello. But our soul never dies. This is what we have to understand. So when we, leave this lifetime and we go to heaven, we spend a deal of time up there reminiscing or meeting our family members or friends or whatever. But we're also doing inner reflection of what our soul was destined to do in that lifetime. Right. And the stuff that we blew or that we didn't do, or that we had certain attributes that were not pretty. Okay, that all just goes to the side. There's no judgment. You don't get spanked or anything like that. That's not what happens. Okay, but you go there and you kind of regenerate and regroup. And then when your soul is ready, you decide that I'm going to go back down there and I'm going to do this. And you pick your mother, your father, your siblings, your friends, your school, your jobs, the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy times, the times that are just, wrenchers, okay, heartbreakers or whatever. The disappointments, your children, your grandchildren, you name it, aunts, uncles, it's all in your blueprint.
Fabulous.
And when I do their soul charts, people are just blown away and say, "Oh my God, I never met you, but you know everything about me." Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's very, very insightful, and I highly suggest it's a great reading. It's very unique. There's nobody else does the work that Psychic Joanne Leo does. Okay, so if you want to check that out, psychicjoanneleo.com. The next person we have up, I believe, whoops, I skipped one. Julie to everyone. I skipped one here. Her birth date is 11/2/59. Julie.
Okay. Well, this is all about getting your power and using your power this year, Julie. I think that this is like, it's opportunities, or if there's something that you're going for, either a promotion or to do something that's going to generate more money for you, or security, personal security. This would be an excellent year for you to do that, because it's like you got your power button on. it also has to do with work. And so if you haven't been happy, and then this is the part that's not easy when we don't have the interaction of them saying, "Oh, okay, you're there."
Mhm.
Um, if you're struggling with a work situation, you have the energy to change that totally. Either change positions, change companies, work within the company, get promoted within the company. Um, that's all very, very positive. Um, again, going through July, August, September will be all about following your gut because you've got that in your birth chart anyway. You earned it from previous lifetimes to have that. We call it the sixth sense, mother's intuition, call it what you want to call it. But think about all the times, Julie, that you didn't follow your gut feeling and you made a boo-boo here. There's no logic to it, as I had said before. But there's something that you're going to have to really pay attention, not be naive or, try to be Mrs. Fix-It because Carolan knows I'm a straight shooter reader. Fixers always wind up victims, and I can always point out where that source is.
Yeah.
So I think that what I want to say to Julie this year is this is a power year for you, but also to thy own self be true. Don't try to be Mother Teresa or to, help everybody. Your job right now this year is to steer your own boat, okay? And to make sure that your boat stays afloat. And you've got all the power in your numbers to do that this year. Just don't get off track and don't let anybody else get you off track.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Okay, Julie, you got the info here. You got the skinny. Our next viewer here is Heather. 3/11 is the date of birth. March 11th.
I got these little intuitive babies. This is amazing. 3 in a row. I had Anna, I had Julie, and now what's this girl's name?
Heather.
Heather.
So they're intuitive, is what you're getting from.
Well, yeah, they all have a master number in there, so they all earned that from previous lifetimes. So that's it. That's that spiritual little gut feeling that kind of really saves you in moments where you really need to, or it's your inner alert system that you earned from a previous lifetime. So it's not about, okay, well, I'm going to go do readings or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. This is a spiritual, it's like a badge that you earned in many, many lifetimes. So it's like your inner angels and God is your alert button to situations, people, places, and things. And Carolan, I get under the people, places, and things. So this is really about to thy own self be true, though. But I do feel like it's either that you're going to move or make some major changes this year. And you have to be confident. And I like to teach this, especially when I do life coaching, is you have to really think about good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. It's really like a scale that you have to really weigh it out. If it's good for me or if it's not good for me. Healthy for me, not healthy for me. And when you have to make major decisions, I always have my students or my clients, whatever you want to label them, to get out that piece of paper and get out of your head. That is where you're going to be into major trouble. When you live with that voice in between your ears, I guarantee you it's going to kick your butt, or you're going to miss an opportunity, or you're going to procrastinate, or you might see all the pros and you didn't see the cons, or you might be into all the cons in your head and not see the pros. But on the paper, you've got it. And you can weigh it out much clearer because there's power from your hand to your brain.
Good job. Thank you, Joanne, for that. Okay, Heather, that was great reading. We have next up is Anita, and she is 4/24. Do you want the year or no?
No, I don't. Not really. That would be only if I was doing a major,
April 24.
So this is a mover shaker time of year, but you know what? We've all been going through this craziness of stuff that, I mean, I'm in my 7th decade here. So, uh, I haven't seen anything like this in my life. So we've all experienced this, like, okay, now what? Or what are we doing? Or have I got enough Clorox wipes here? Or, you know,
Well,
do is it the mask or whatever? But as far as my work goes, my work has been great because I've been doing nothing but visual and remote, and I've been busier than get out, which is great. But as far as Anita goes, it's Anita, right?
yes.
Okay. This is kind of like you got to be flexible, but yet you've got to just kind of it's going to be do the unexpected, or things are going to come to you and you're going to have to make quick decisions. Okay. Not impulsive, but quick decisions. So, make sure that it's good for you. I like to think if you're into that mindset of to thy own self be true, which they don't teach you that in school, because I really truly believe the word selfish needs to be removed from the dictionary, because it definitely dings your self-esteem, because society will say, oh, you're narcissistic because you're positive, you're a go-getter, you mean what you say what you mean. So they want to put a label to you, which is really ridiculous.
Right.
Okay. And you can't let other people affect you by their criticism or their labeling. To thy own self be true. You see, when I teach that, you have to own it. Okay. So Anita, I say to you, whatever's the curveballs or the when you're swinging the bat this year, take your opportunities. Don't miss any opportunities, but don't lose your cool and don't be impulsive. Okay. Let me see what else is going on here. And I do feel like by the time you get to October, November, and December, I feel like you're gonna, have to come to terms with, and I do feel that you'll be finally figuring out what it is that you want to do, whether it's moving, whether it's with a job situation, or whether it's with your emotional feelings, But that's where, to thy own self be true, and good for me, not good for me, is a learned skill set that I teach, because, school teaches you that, not grammar school, not high school, and not college either, to love yourself. You see, you got to come first. Then everybody else will benefit when you come first. Does that make sense?
Good advice for all of us.
Exactly.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you, Joanne. To Anita. Okay, I just want to mention we have a lot of Jeremy Ridden has said thank you, and he had also quoted, I guess, in synopsis, he's saying, stay in your lane. Pick your lane, stay in it. A friend of his is on. We're going to get her or his birth date. And Jill Sheen says, thank you so much. She also has come back with the question. Now, let me just find it. It was about, where is it? It was about her mother.
Oh, okay.
I can't find it now. Oh, there's Melissa Parks. Jill Sheen, 822. Cannot find it. It was regarding her mother. I can't find it now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got the 822 here. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, one of our viewers is saying your lipstick is popping, Joanne. Just popping.
Good.
Want to let you know? Yeah, that's funny.
Not bad for 72. You gotta play up whatever you got.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I can't find Jill.
I quit smoking, folks, so I got my nicotine gum here. I'm good to go.
She's chewing away. That a girl. Yeah. Good for you. I can't find. I know Jill Sheen was very anxious today to get some answers about her mom. And I don't see it now. Oh, here it is. Okay. What kind of decisions am I going to have to make? Is it for myself or someone else? I guess you had mentioned making decisions. You did mention that.
Right, I did. Let's see where if I got her here.
Sorry for the delay in delivering that.
Well, we can't help that, So, um, it's going to come up. I have that. Let's see, that's 7, and that's a 1, and that's an 8. That decision's coming up. Starting. Well, it's going to be finished by June, but it could have to do with either financial decisions, a job situation, or if you're in charge. Like I see this a lot of times when people have to make financial decisions, like wills or
Right.
contracts on different things, or they're being asked for advice, or they're seeking knowledge or
Right.
whatever. And it's kind of like you get put into a leadership role, not a fixer thing, but a leadership role. So there's definitely, and I am a big believer that if I don't have the answer, I'm going to find out who to go to for the answer. Okay. So, so if it's a legal thing, I would call, somebody has that legal designation. If it's a physical thing, and let's see here. Um, I think that's a really important as far as what's going on as far as challenges this year. She's got to learn to speak her truth and not push things aside here or have scattered energy. That's her challenge in this year. So I hope I answered her question. I don't know what she wants about her mom, other than if there's something that she's going to have to designate responsibility wise for her mom, that would come up under that category, under that number of influence, and the challenge that comes with it. You see, numerology is a 3,000-year-old science, and there are so many pieces to your chart. So you're never going to find on a computer what comes out of when I do a chart, because mine's channeled from heaven. So I can't even teach the course because I can't give you my spirit guide to give you that, but I am book trained. So, but my readings are nothing that you're going to find in a book or on a computer. So it's definitely tailored to that specific soul. And I love doing families. I'm working on grandchildren now. I've had clients for so many years that I did them as young people, and then they got married, and I did their spouses. Figured that out, and then I did their kids, and now their kids are having kids. So
That's beautiful.
It really helps to raise children if you know the essence of their name, their full name, and their birth date. I did my niece named both of her kids through numerology, and I had to correct some spelling so we didn't get some bad karma.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One letter can make a big difference.
Yes, true. True. Very good. Great job. Okay, thank you for answering that question. I do have Jennifer Daniel, 10:30. That was my husband's birthday, 10:30.
Well, when's your birthday? My daughter's birthday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then I have to.
This is your take charge. What's her first name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. All right.
Then I have Robin.
Well, Jen, you don't like to be told what to do, how to do it, where to do it, or when to do it. But you're a very strong girl. You're a survivor, and I know that you're very responsible to the nth degree. I do know that just by looking at it. And you like things organized. You just got to be a little bit more flexible, honey, because not everything goes by a list, or always goes as planned. So you got to be a little flexible. But this is a power year for you too. Financially. Now, I know that we've kind of gone through some crazy stuff, and some people have been unscathed because they've been working from home. Some people have had to, totally regroup or whatever. But if anybody has got the wherewithal with the essence that you have this year, you have to take the bull by the horn. You can't just let opportunity pass you by, because trust me, it would be like a golden opportunity. And I would dig, I would dig and dig and dig, make phone calls, or if there's an opportunity for promotion, or if there is a company that, can use your expertise, I say go for it.
Beautiful. Good job. Thank you for tuning in with us, Jennifer. Delightful to have you. Robin is one of our frequent viewers here. Her birth date is 6/16.
Well, and her name's Robin.
Yes. Robyn.
Byn.
Yes, sorry.
Byn. Okay. So I know, Robin. One thing I want to say, that Spirit, is kind of emotionally, she doesn't like drama, so and she's very sensitive. So what I would say to her is that she's definitely has to learn to use I statements. I've gone through this a couple times, on our shows, uh, because when you use I statements, there's no fight. So people who have this in their name that don't like conflict or drama, it's best to say, when that happened, I was disappointed. When that was said, I was hurt. There's no fight with I. So, and I have a whole chapter on this stuff, but that's just a short thing to give her, to get her through this year. This is a year about really setting things straight, and even though that it may seem a little chaotic. Now, there is a little bit of influence, Robin, that with either alcohol or drugs from a previous lifetime. So you will be tested in this lifetime, either by people that are mosey through your experience, or you yourself. I call it, it's like the test. Are you going to lick them or join them? But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because remember, you designed this. We choose when we come and we choose when we go. Even though that it's very hard for us emotionally when we lose somebody, as Carolan can tell you, we all have experienced that, because we're living on a physical plane here, and they're on a whole different dimension. Okay. And so we're missing their essence, the memory, the connection, the relationship, all those things. So when I say that you, in this lifetime, you have to be very mindful about alcohol or drugs in that particular thing. Now, as far as this year goes, I say that you too, this is a power year for you to make some dramatic changes or specific changes, whether it comes to reorganizing your financial house, where the money that you earn, um, making financial decisions, taking a leadership role, um, and also to not being so hard on yourself, because you're a taskmaster, but you start with yourself first here. You can't live your life by a list. I keep telling that to a lot of clients, that they don't like surprises. And I'd say you're probably in that category. It's not that you don't like a little bobble here that would be a surprise. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, okay, you got everything organized, and we're going to just tear up your little list, and we're going to do something different today. It throws you in a tizzy. So I'd say this is a great year for you to steer the boat, ride the horse, however you want to look at it. This is a power year for you. Because you're going to go into an 18-month cycle next year that's going to take you into almost the middle of 2022. And that's going to be very significant, which, you can always give me a call and I'll explain that further. But it's pretty intense. But the good news is I'd say go for it this year. Put some organization, and definitely make some very strong positive decisions for yourself, and don't be so picky and hard on yourself, because you haven't been a happy perfectionist yet. I'm still looking for one, but so you have that in your chart a little bit, where you can be a little hard on yourself too. So I say knock that off. Okay. And Carolan usually introduces me and says, buckle up, because, I kind of say it like it is.
Well, I was just speaking about you on I forget which show it was now. It's been a little rocky here. Interesting rocky. And I said, Joanne I'm just like blunt force trauma when I deliver something. I don't fool around. You know that. There's bars with me, and I'm not going to put up with any nonsense. So that's who I am.
Right.
You are a life coach. So you do readings with a heart. You have a way of counseling people with the information that you give. Because some people need, once they get that and it's black and white, they may need some help processing. Right?
Well, right. I think what's really great that Spirit did for me, over the years and all the studying I did and how my work has changed through the years, is with doing and reading the soul and being a soul reader and being a life coach. And I was a motivational speaker as well too. So I'm really big into positive mental attitude. It goes in sync. It's really, I can help them best because I can pick it out of their charts. And if they've been into denial or it's buried too far, I have the ability to kind of address it, pull it up and say, it's okay, because we can do this together here, and I'll love you through it and I'll kick your butt through it, but you're going to know that I'm not going to do anything that would hurt you or whatever. If anything, I want to empower them so that they can pass that boo-boo and turn it into a victory.
Right. You do a great job. Great job with that. I can say from personal experience, your work has been very helpful to me. Okay, that was Robin, right?
Robin, yes.
Okay. Did we do it, Julie? 11.
We did a Julie 11-2, or she was, or something.
That's it. Okay, I'm sorry. So excuse me. Kathy.
We didn't do a Kathy yet.
Okay, so
is that a Kathy with a C or a K?
K.
Okay.
And it's 12-13. She just gave me Kathy. She didn't give me Catherine, Kathleen, So.
Okay.
Jennifer.
Well, Kathy's, she's smart, but she also, likes to keep a lid on her emotions. The only thing that I can say, and I want to say this in the most loving, positive way, but people who don't like drama or who, don't really want to argue because they can't handle the dissent, the argument or whatever. They usually wind up with stomach or colon problems because they stuff. Okay. And then a Kathy has it in her birthday where she likes everything fair and balanced. She's very smart. She's a great problem solver. She's the type of person that'll learn something till the day she dies. But here's the kicker is that she's too hard and critical on herself. So she's constantly, weighing things out and maybe over processing. And when it comes to herself, she's I would say she's picky, and I would love if I could talk to her. She'd probably say to me, well, yeah, that's true. But when you're picky or you're too hard on yourself, you're not dwelling on the positives. You see what I'm saying? You're looking for the negatives. Me, even as when I was in management, they had a performance form that I would have to evaluate my employees. Mm-hmm. Well, they had right on this form, areas of weakness. I scratched that right out, weakness. And you know what? I put down areas to improve because I don't want to identify or label a person as weak. Mm-hmm. or that because they don't have this quality that it's a weakness. I don't buy that. You see, my motto is for me to inspire so they can aspire too. And I'm proud to say that I believe a good manager is somebody who trains and uplifts so that you can get them promoted. And I've promoted more people that.
Oop. Are we stuck? We might be stuck a little bit. We're experiencing some heavy thunder activity. Joanne is in broadcasting from Seminole, Florida, and I'm in Sarasota, Florida. So let's hope that we get her back because she's kind of frozen. So I hope she realizes that. And let's see what Tiffany has to say about that. If she can. Oh, she did put Joanne's website up, psychicjoanneleo.com. I think this happened one other time when we were experiencing thunderstorms. So Joanne will be back, I'm sure. In the meantime, let me remind you that, like I said, we're rescheduling Mark Anthony. And here she comes. Here she comes.
I don't know. It's Wi-Fi. It goes. We're having storms up here.
Right.
So, I apologize, but if they have a bumper, whatever's going on here, but we've got lightning all over the place here.
Yes, we had that too today. I was explaining you're in Seminole, I'm in Sarasota, and we're just getting hammered. Okay, so that was Kathy Bray.
Okay.
And I want to say the comments coming through, we've put a link up to your website, Psychic Joanne Leo, so people can go right to that. You're getting a lot of thumbs up here, and everybody is thrilled with what they've received so far. And thank you, Jeremy. Carolan is a firecracker. Thank you, Jeremy, for that. That's a nice way of putting it.
We're both firecrackers, Carolan.
Yeah, I know. It's like blowing the roof off. Robin is saying, holy moly, yes, she's hard on her. So she agrees with that too. Now, let me get back to, I have someone here I wanted to bring up. The name is Bree Shea.
Bree Shea. You're going to have to spell that for me because I won't even attempt it.
Okay. B as in boy, R as in Robin, E as in Eddie, S as in Sam, H as in Harry, A as in Apple, Y as in yellow.
Okay.
Jay, and that birth date is 7/26.
I knew that was going to happen because I knew, and it's kind of like, and God bless Kathy too, because I wanted her to understand that it's if you can understand your soul, it makes you kind of move and groove. And it's the same thing with Roche because she's got that kind of hard critical number on oneself. And she also keeps a lot of stuff to herself, but she's very sensitive. And a lot of people don't get that because she quietly stuffs it, you see. And you will wind up with stomach issues or indigestion or definitely some potty problems. So that's because you're not using your voice to use your I statements. When that happened, I was upset. When that was said, I was embarrassed. When that happened, I was devastated. I was disappointed. And when you stand in your I, you're standing on those two legs of yours and strong in your shoes. That's my job, is to make sure that you're still standing in your shoes and that you're not passing out on the floor here emotionally and crying in a little ball over there. Mm-hmm. Listen, I would never ask anybody to do anything that I haven't done myself. Yeah, I worked on my inner critic and I killed it. I've worked on positive mental attitude. I've worked on setting goals. I've worked on, changing the way I talk. When you change the way you talk, you change. Well, when you change the way you think, you change the way you talk, and then guess what? You get positive results. Mm-hmm. So that's what I teach. Brochet is very hard on herself, but she's very strong. She's a natural born leader. She's a great problem solver, but she is definitely not a great communicator when it comes emotionally. And it will cause problems with relationships because she could be sitting across the table. I'll give a good example. If we were sitting at a table together and I would be sitting there and I'd be looking at her and I got 20 questions and she gives me nothing because she's got this whole dialogue going on inside of what she thinks, how she feels, how she's processing. God, that lipstick is really bold. And what color eyeliner is that? Or, boy, she talks really fast. Where is she from? Is she from New York? No, she's from Chicago. Oh, well, but nothing's coming out of her mouth. It's all head stuff. You see? Mm-hmm. So in relationships, it'll be very difficult because they want to know, what do you like? What do you want? How are we going to get, what's your favorite color? They don't know. They got 20 questions. So communication emotionally is a test for her. She's very, she's smart, and she's, a natural born leader. She should follow her gut, but I think sometimes emotionally she gets all over the map inside and is misunderstood. Does that make sense? So let's see where she's at this year. We've got 4, 6. This is great. She's just coming out of that year and a half of, oh my God, weighing out people, places, and things. It's kind of like going up into an attic. And Carolan, you've heard me say this before.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cycle that each one of us go through, but it's like a soul renewal because it's a clearing, and yet it's a fortifying at the same time. But it can be heavy duty emotional. And when you go through this cycle, it is an 18-month cycle, and it's like going into the attic of people, places, and things, and what your treasures are. What do I need to get rid of? What is being pitched? What needs to go that no longer serves me? And then you have the other pile of, well, let me think about that and reevaluate, or decide if I'm going to keep it or if it goes. So it's a very emotional thing. I know when I went through that year and a half cycle, I was, in a quandary of downsizing. My husband had a physical condition going on during that cycle. So everything was coming at me, getting movers. What am I going to throw away? 20 years of living in a house that there wasn't a spare little square of stuff that I didn't have to go through. So yeah, we go through different things. Some people will move to a different state. Some people will quit jobs. Some people will go through divorces. Some people will go through issues with family members. It's a clearing, but it's also a strengthening. So we never can take anything numerology wise in a totally negative way, because it's highly spiritual and it's your soul. And we all supposed to, even through the hardest of things we go through, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for a lesson learned. It's like, I like to look at life like a book, and you go through the different chapters. And at the end of the chapter, you know something more than when you started the chapter. You either know the scenery, the player, the circumstance, or whatever. Well, it's the same thing with your own life. And that's where life coaching comes in, or the spiritual numerology to help you figure it out, so that you have somebody that's a coach helping you get through the ups and downs, the ins and the outs. But I would never ask anybody to do something that I haven't personally worked on myself. I wouldn't. No. So I think this is a great year for her. She really needs to get strong on what she learned and how to move forward here. There's some decisions to make right now. Right now, I think there might be some gray areas that she needs to weigh out: good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. And when she hits July, August, and September, it's going to be great. It's going to be like a renewal or getting your act together. And if you need more explanation on this, you can contact me through my website, or text me, call me. My number's on my website as well. And Joanne is spelled with an E, so it's Joanne, Psychic Joanne, Joanne Leo. Because if you don't put the E on there, you're not going to find me.
Right. Good job. And please check out, the information on Joanne's website. And these readings are catered to you with your personal information. Doesn't get any more unique than that.
Oh, no.
And, you're just
it's nobody else's but yours.
Nope. It's a wonderful job that you do, Joanne. Thank you so much. Let me just, so that's psychic, JoanneLeo.com, 2 N's and an E, Leo like the lion. Check her out. Joanne is going to be back. What did we say? August. Let me get to August here. Yes, I have you with August 20th.
Yeah.
You'll be back with us.
Yes.
Next week here on In the Psychic Flow, and I'm your host, Carolan. I guess you figured that out by now. I will be, unless we get Mark Anthony in, I will be doing mini readings next week. I hope you will join me then from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. The following week, which is the 25th, we have Reverend Lee Chapin on our show. She's a new show host as well. on Goldylocks Productions. She has written 2 books. She's also does classes. She channels, interestingly enough, Mary Magdalene and Jesus. So she has published some books on this information that she's channeled. Delightful lady. So we're looking forward to interviewing her. As I said, we're going to be rescheduling Mr. Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, this summer. The following week, July 9th, Reverend Kevin Lee, back on the show. Precipitation mediumship, phenomenal. Everybody loved it. This time when he comes in July, mark your calendars, The Secrets of the Seance Room. It'll be very interesting. Kevin is a dynamite teacher, minister, wonderful person. The following week, July 16th, Jeremy Ridden. Oh my goodness. Astrologer extraordinaire will be with us. That's July 16th. The following week, paranormal expert, investigator, psychic, Jane Doherty from South Plainfield, New Jersey. I've known Jane over 30 years. She has been off Broadway. She's been on a television series, Dead Tenants. She is one of the guardians of one of the 4, I believe 4, crystal skulls in the world. She is incredibly talented, psychic, and very informative. You'll see her on Facebook. She's got some shows going on there. She does some paranormal work. Absolutely fantastic. And then the last week in July is me again. So in August, we got some more stellar people coming up. So please don't miss In the Psychic Flow. We have a couple of minutes. Joanne, are you doing any in-persons, or is it mostly you doing FaceTime? What program do you use to do your readings?
I use the Duo app. It's a Google thing, and so whether you have an iPhone or an Android, and it's just like you and I sitting at the table together, just like we're doing here. It's very personable. The neat thing about my work is that they don't have to physically be sitting next to me for me to tune in, because I've got their soul right in front of me. And the cards I use are really unique. Nobody reads these anymore. These are really Schuster cards. I don't know how to do this here. Yeah, Schuster.
There you go.
But I call them tarot with a twist.
Right.
They're read astrologically, psychically, and numerically. So they're really kind of different. And I like, because they will nail, believe me, when they have questions, between the numerology combination and the cards, if they're doing just a half-hour reading and they have specific questions, it will answer your questions by and large. So I do that, and then of course I have my angel cards, my Archangel Michael I work with consistently too.
Julie's asked, could we see one of the Schuster cards, one of the cards itself, just as an example of what they look like? I assume you can still get them, correct?
Well, the book that comes with them, these are from the 1980s. Nobody reads these anymore.
Right.
Everyone, I meditated on every card. So nobody has a deck like I have. Nobody.
There you go.
But they're represented like a tarot deck, like with the, tarot has the swords and the wands and the coins and
Schuster, right.
pentacles or whatever. But these are done by colors, but yet they also have in each one here, and I don't know if I can find one real quick. Okay. They have also the these zodiac signs.
Oh, okay.
But they're done by the colors with the healing or the learning or the emotional or the warnings or whatever. So, but what's great is they work well with my spirit guide. And so I started these in 1984. I studied them. And the book was horrible, but I had a great teacher. And then I expounded on it with the meditation. So like I said, nobody else has a deck like this. It's the only deck. So, but they're great. I predicted 17 babies through these cards and numbers. So, and 2 sets of twins.
Fabulous. Joanne, I thank you so much. We're at the end of our hour. Thank you all of our viewers from Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. Thank you all very much. Please join us next week in the Psychic Flow. My website is carolancarey.com, and I hope you consider me your spirit connection. Please join us. Thank you and have a good night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Joanne.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.